Welcome back.
We here.
Back. Hey, we up in the building, y'all. This is
sir.
Conversation. What episode is this, y'all?
That's episode 7, man.
Episode 7. Episode 7. We getting close. We creeping up on 10. Yes, sir. Well, shit, man. Since we do have a special guest, definitely want to introduce him. But as always, I am Thomas.
I am Tony.
I am Tone The Tantrum.
And I'm the special guest. Please introduce yourself.
And I'm the only one without a T. My name is Bobbie Jackson.
Yes, sir. What are we going to talk about today, y'all? I know I already have an idea what y'all want to talk about.
Man, let's get to it.
We talking about this smoke.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Go ahead. Take it away, gentlemen.
So
go ahead, Tom. I know you got something to say, man.
You know he got something to say.
Look, now you got something to say.
You wait for a question.
I said I got the
pen.
pen
There's
back
much
in
to
there.
say after.
There we go.
Not much to say after this fact. Like, I said here an episode or two ago that Drake is doing his thing. Now I'm looking at Drake like his back is against the wall type shit. Yeah, he jabbing back, but especially with the last record I heard, he's just bored and he doesn't want to do it anymore. I don't know, man. That seems like a white flag gesture to me.
Let me ask you a question.
This anymore?
Because I gotta support Drake right now. So you said his back against the wall, right? And you said he's throwing jabs. Do you think Kendrick out-rapped Drake?
Kendrick in some ways out-rapped Drake. I can't say it entirely.
Some ways.
Because,
In some ways?
In some ways, yes.
So this was supposed to be a rap battle. This was everybody was looking forward to. And for me, it didn't. I got turned off by it. Because it no longer was a rap battle. And it was I'm painting you as this person here. And when you start putting that narrative on people's names, like, you can't do that. That's wrong. And that's where I disagree. Like, I give it up for Kendrick because it was smart. Hey, if you want to win, that is a way to win. But I don't, like, as a man, I feel like that's wrong as fuck.
But may I ask what aspect do you mean exactly? What is it that really turned you off?
The child predator, the pedophile. I'm painting this guy as a pedophile.
I think personally, they always say there are no rules when it comes to a battle, right?
Right.
It always gets to a point where
a point of no return. People go too far.
Well, people do go too far, but I think in hip hop, people have always gone too far. It's never been a time when people didn't go too far. When Jay-Z said what he said about Nas and the baby and the baby seat, that was too far.
Now I get your point, and I was ready for that point too. So, like, in Drake's situation, now the world is looking at you as a pedophile. Kendrick came out with a banger and painting this nigga as a pedophile in the banger. So now the world is looking at you as a pedophile. And now as Drake, you're fucked if you do respond, because now you're like defending yourself. Fuck, I'm not a pedophile, y'all. But if you don't respond, and now you said nothing. And because you said nothing, this nigga he might be a pedophile. Let's stay away from him.
Well, if we look at Drake's last record or most recent record, who knows what the future holds. He addressed it. And he said it wasn't true. So we can think for him and say, oh, that's effed up. But he already kind of like stepped into it and said, and kind of denied the allegations, what kind of nulls it. But the issue is there's a difference between, when we start to talk about SA allegations, it starts to get very you have to start looking at the different elements of it or the different areas of it. So when we're using the P word, you think of a specific thing, which could be an over exaggeration because we're talking about rap, but there's evidence of grooming in his history that you can't ignore.
You could say there's evidence of grooming, but you don't know the behind the door. Like, you might think it's grooming from your point of view, but you don't know.
Let's play that up. What is the definition of grooming to the viewers and listeners who don't know?
Oh, got you. So the definition of grooming a woman a girl would be, you are having a close relationship with a girl that is underage up until the time that they reach legal age. So this is not a matter of perspective. This is a matter of age, before legal, keeping them in your circle until they become legal, and then you basically trained them to get used to you until you were out of the guise of legal repercussion.
That's true. Now, what I'm saying is, you might, from your point of view, think that something is grooming, where this guy could have behind the doors
inappropriate relationship.
No, just behind the door relationship with this person's family. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, the people that you might be referring, like, you just don't know what's going on behind the doors. And because there's no proof, like, if you're going to say, hey, this guy is this P word, this guy is a pedophile, come out with the proof. Don't have people just looking at somebody as a pedophile just because you think or you believe that they might be a pedophile. That's fucking wrong.
The onus isn't on the person who makes the allegation. The onus then becomes to the person to prove that they're not. If because he said it,
that's wrong. So now you're saying, if I say you're a pedophile, if I just start telling everybody you're a pedophile and everybody around you, hey, this guy's a pedophile, how are you going to prove that? Nobody's going to be around you at night.
The only thing that allows what you say about me, hypothetically, justify it would be some form of evidence, right? There is forms of alleged evidence in the World Wide Web. That's so that's the thing that kind of like justifies what you're saying, essentially. So if you make the accusation, you don't have to do any more to prove it. If in the World Wide Web, the proof in allegations out there. So, for example, this specific incident, we're talking about 2 or 3 different situations. Now, I won't talk about when he was 24 years old, he brought the 17-year-old on stage and he found out she was 17 and he continued, and it was kind of weird, right? Because 17 is legal age in certain states, but it's weird. 16. It's weird for me personally. Couldn't do it.
And I agree. It's weird, right?
But to each its own, and in some states that's legal. But the allegations about Billie Eilish and her saying that she's turning 18, and he responds, "I've been waiting." The model, Hayden, some name, I can't remember her name. She was 16 years old. He took a picture with her, whatever. Nothing, right? A week after her 18th birthday, he takes her out on a date. Millie Bobby Brown, 11 from Stranger Things.
But he had a relationship with their family.
That is inappropriate to text a 16-year-old directly.
Just saying, hey, I miss you. You don't know how their relationship was with their family. I could text my niece, or I could text my niece and say, hey, I miss you.
Your niece.
You get what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
You don't know his relationship with the family.
Absolutely. So let's just say that.
And these are just allegations. You get what I'm saying? And because they're just allegations, there's no proof. And
let's just say what you're saying is valid, right?
Go ahead.
That doesn't evade the general public from looking at that a certain type of way, regardless of the relationship. In that case, then you have the other instances that looks like a pattern. When you bring someone to court and you say you bring someone to court hypothetically and make it a direct allegation, in discovery they start to look at pattern to say, hey, this is a behavior that this person has. He's essentially shown a behavior that he has. There's nuance to everything, right?
How many women? Or how many girls should I say?
Right now, for what we know, 3.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now what I'm saying is this is a 37, 40-year-old man.
Yes.
And you're trying to say that he's a pedophile because of a relationship or things that happen with.
Sorry, I would say for the sake of the battle and the competitive element, it's probably.
Yeah, I just think it's wrong.
The word is an exaggeration because we're talking about hip hop. Nothing's wrong.
Yeah, but that shit is wrong. That shit is wrong. As a man, and Drake's defense, any
rap battle, there's no holds barred. Niggas talk about dead mamas.
No. This is a rap battle. If Kendrick can't out rap you, okay, I'll just. It's supposed to be a rap battle. Y'all claim as Kendrick Lamar fans that Kendrick Lamar is a better rapper than Drake. Now, with that being said, Kendrick Lamar should out rap Drake. It should not be, hey, I'm going to put these allegations on you to fuck up your life for real. Like, that's fucking wrong. It's a rap battle. Keep it right.
So let me tell you, the allegations is essentially a part of the hip hop. The same way Drake's allegations about him beating his wife. The same way that's pretty wrong to claim that with no proof, to claim that you abuse your wife, right? So he
that's also wrong, but it's not to the extent of pedophilia.
Well, I think it's also very important to not have the oppression Olympics, right?
Uh-huh.
Are we really gonna have the oppression Olympics? Which crime is worse than the other? They're all pretty bad, right? He doesn't take care of his kids. His manager one of his kids aren't his. His manager impregnated his wife. That's pretty bad, right? Yeah. So I don't know if we don't have to put one thing over another. These are all things that we can all consider are too far.
But that one thing stands over all the other. And we don't have to put it over. The world will. You get what I'm saying?
If Nike gave them both a deal, let's take it back to the Adidas days when the Adonis news took away his Adidas contract, right? Let's give him back his Adidas contract. Let's give Kendrick Lamar an Adidas contract. Any one of these allegations would get the contract removed.
That's a fact.
The fans are going to look at the situation the same way, whether you're beating your wife, your wife cheated on you.
That's not true. And then we look at Chris Brown and we look at R. Kelly. Who
definitely not the same situations.
But Chris Brown is a legend, or not a legend because it happened. He beat Rihanna, and
they got
R. Kelly.
They got into an altercation.
Okay, so he hit a woman, let's just say that. and R. Kelly is in jail for the same thing that we're accusing Drake of, right?
No, we are saying that Drake has groomed girls.
No, that's not what was said. What I'm telling you is the pedophile. We're just using the word pedophile. Stigma. Let's just stay there. It's not grooming.
Right, the stigma.
So,
yeah.
So, I mean, the world looks at these two people completely different.
I think any crimes against...
I think it's going to have that much play, though, man.
No, I don't think so either, but I don't feel like that is okay to pay. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying, but now you got the whole world thinking that somebody's a pedophile. That's wrong, nigga. That is wrong.
It is, but, it's battling.
I don't think it's a part of the game at all. And what Drake did, because Tone looked like he's proud of because Drake kind of bowed out.
I never said that. I'm not proud about it.
No, you definitely look like you're proud about it, nigga. No, but in Drake's situation, once I heard Kendrick shit, I was like, yo, Drake, don't respond. Like, what is there to respond about? But then I thought about it, like, if you don't respond, and then people look at you like, damn, this nigga didn't respond. He's a fucking pedophile. Then he responds. And because he responds, the way that he responded, he had to play defense. You get what I'm saying? You got to clear his name of that shit first. And because you got to clear your name of, like, that's it. So, I mean, you might look at that as Drake just took an L because he bowed down. Like, I don't want to rap with a nigga that's going to keep constantly telling the world that I'm a pedophile. 3 fucking songs you're painting the narrative that I'm a fucking pedophile. I don't want to rap with you no more. Like, no, you can have it. You can fucking have it. I don't want it no more.
I think the general listener of hip hop, I think that those people understand how nasty it can get, but at the same time understand that it's in the confines. Listen, it's in the confines of hip hop. It's not Kendrick Lamar walked to the police station and said, "Hey, I heard da 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 da." It's still within the confines of rap music, right? So there's a level of, not that it's not true, but there's a level of, we're doing something for a purpose of winning. So that is understood amongst the fans. People are not walking around looking at Drake any kind of way. He's still on tour. He's still performing in front of tens of thousands of people, and they are showing up. Well,
yeah, he off tour now.
Well, he just finished because he was there screaming on stage the other day, looking like Tizo Touchdown. So we talking about the tail end of the tour, but he's still packing out his shows. People are still streaming his music. Academics are still crying on the internet. People are not turning their back on Drake because because he has a fan base within the confines of, but also outside of his fan base, within the confines of a battle. People understand. They're not looking at it like a tell-all. There's some reveal, but there's no proof yet. There's still there's no charges being pressed. There's nothing that is actually hurting at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with that. The part I said is not true is people are looking at him certain ways. Like, for instance, Kendrick supposedly revealed that he had a daughter, an 11-year-old daughter. Now the internet takes that, and like, the internet believes everything. But it's fair to say the internet believes everything. But because the internet believes everything, and then they take these things that are being said and they run with it. So,
but people can only run with these things as long as they can find out that they're true. People can make jokes and they can make memes and they can make songs to make fun, but no one can take it. No one can really run with it until they find out that it's true. Because right now the narrative is also, yo, I fed you information that girl ain't really, you know what I'm saying? So right now, if we thought it was true on Friday, on Saturday, we find out that
not true, right?
It could be not true. So what I'm saying,
the other way around, right?
Within the confines of a battle, people are saying any and everything. Now, Summer Jam is coming up. I'm waiting for one of their asses to pull up with some proof. That's what I'm talking about.
I feel like it's all entertainment, man. It's all entertainment. If I feel like if anyone, does construct their mind to think that he actually is like that, that's on them. People gonna do that no matter what. It's people that come out of the battles thinking these guys.
That's my point. That is my point.
Yeah. I definitely get that, and also get Bobbie's, because in battling, shit, you might think they the worst enemies, and then they get off stage, shake hands, they smoking together.
What kind of battle is this though?
Real battles.
No, but this ain't a real battle. This is a rap battle.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so you have to lyrically show that your pen is better than my pen.
But with battling is more.
The only thing that he did was strategy. I give him on the strategy.
But that's the thing with battling. There's a lot of different elements. There's stage performance. There's you can have unlimited things in your arsenal. You feel me? But how you use them and being strategic, that can change the battle a lot. Especially if you're in a room full of people and you say something crazy and you get them all on your side, and then the next hit you do is like hey, you might win 2 rounds and he might get the first one and you won the battle. You feel me? So I feel like it's all battle, and we all know, like, when you watch rap, they say your mama, your kids, they call you
right, and then they turn around and they friends and shit at the end. It's all
no,
I get that,
man. But
now look, I get that, but no, this is entertainment.
So
not between these two. So for not between these two, it's not entertainment.
For what you're saying, Tony, you're totally valid. You're totally valid in what you're saying, Tony. Like, as a man in real life, yes, but this is not really real life. That's what.
For these two, in our real life, it is real life for these two. It's only entertainment to us.
Yeah, but they're provided. They signed a contract.
No, I get that. It's a business. Right.
To say, this is the character I'm gonna present to these people. These are the things I'm gonna sell. This is how I'm gonna influence these people. Now, how much money can I get for this influence? And they do it, bruh. They put on shows. They put on all this drama.
Right.
They do it
but
for money. Between
these two, what I'm saying is Kendrick really hates Drake. It's not entertainment for them. Kendrick really hates Drake.
We don't know. Have you ever seen the soaps?
Tone.
Movies?
Tone. Bobbie, help me out here. Y'all know this. No,
that could be an allegation. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Well, what I will say is this. Kendrick and Drake have both thrown jabs for years at each other. So there could be some real disdain. There could be a level of jealousy.
Or it's just like the writing of any movie. It has to build up to a climax. After the climax, you see who's
well, you can say that, but on this last album that Kendrick, Drake, or not Kendrick and Drake, but J. Cole and Drake did, First Person Shooter, this song was supposed to include K-Dot. K-Dot was like, no, and that was behind the scenes. You get what I'm saying? K-Dot was like, no, like, I can't believe this nigga hit me for a fucking feature. No. You get what I'm saying? And that's behind the scenes. That's not for entertainment for us.
So then let's.
But I heard about that before that was brought to before K-Dot said. But it wasn't entertainment. It's true.
Yeah, but there's still them who are still in entertainment with this. They still had a contract to entertain.
We talk about these two people. So let's talk about these two people.
So let's look at it like this.
Or at least Kendrick hates him. I don't know how Drake feel about Kendrick.
Nah, they definitely don't like each other.
So let's look at it like this, right? If we've been tit for tat, we're in a competition, we're battling in this industry, and you're asking for a record. Now, we also have to look at Drake's track record amongst people and the things that he's done over time to multiple people that made them.
Why do we need to look at that?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to get there. We have to look, and I'm just trying to paint a picture so that we can have a better understanding of the behavior. Over time, even the fans have always had moments where we're looking at Drake like, bro, what is this? The colorful barrettes in his head, the weird accents. So really, what we're looking at is we're dealing with the media darling, which is Drake. Everyone loves Drake. He makes great music. He's light skinned, so he's more palatable to the masses. We have to take that into account. He makes great music. He also uses songwriters, which enhances his hit maker quality because he could churn them out like a machine. So he has so much going on for himself, but he's been doing weird shit. From effing Problems with 2 Chainz, A$AP Rocky, whatever, right? They do the record. He's damn near dissing the people on the record when he's on the record. After he does the record, he does whatever songs, and he's talking about people needing him to do records. Like you start hearing about the sketchy shit he does that makes people sour about him. He took A$AP Rocky on tour with him, but all along he sees A$AP Rocky talking to the Rihanna. He goes and starts to talk to Rihanna because he sees that A$AP Rocky likes Rihanna. there are things that are going on that he's doing that are weird, that are just unmanly, that are things that we look down on as men, that they are looking down on. They are now we on the forefront just looking at the entertainment. They in the back with the ins and outs dealing with his personality. I mean, The Weeknd. I didn't know The Weeknd had problems with him, but The Weeknd says that he got weird shit going on. Future saying that he's moving in on his girl. Lil Wayne wrote in his memoir that he was sleeping with his girl. He wrote it in his memoir. That's where K-Dot got it from. So that ain't an allegation.
Wayne, I know that the truth. I said that on our last spot, or one of our last spots. Yeah, I know that to be true.
Look at the behavior.
It just seems like
at a certain point,
it just seems like, hey, I'm this guy that's at the top, and any bitch that I want.
I'm a person with bad morals.
Okay.
I believe that I'm above all else. I can have whatever I want, and I'm going to get away with it because they need me. because
I feel like bad and good is subjective. So you might feel one thing is bad, but somebody else might feel something else is, that same thing is good. That's
possible.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, somebody could go shoot somebody next door. Like somebody could go next door and shoot somebody and be like, oh no, and you might feel that's bad, but that person that did it.
Could be a reason,
right? So I mean, I don't feel like there's good and I'm a person with morals, of course, and yeah, but we don't know what Drake believes is good and bad. His morals might be different from somebody else's. Everybody's different, so some things to this guy, and you can only imagine being the top guy, being able to have all this money and do all the things that you want. You can only believe you Kanye, like you want everything, you can have everything, everything's mine type shit. Like
but with that being said, sorry to cut you. With that being said, we also have to take into account he is not a Black American. Him not being a Black American, now hear me now, because I'm not saying that he's not a Black person or he's not of African descent. That's not what I'm saying.
Black American, he's a Black Canadian.
He doesn't have Black American culture in him. He is not raised in Black American culture. He does not understand the nuances of what we understand. Down here in the States.
I think it's.
I hate that narrative.
I think it's dangerous to put certain things on people like we know them and know their background. Like his father, was in his life at a certain point, and his father is from here, and he took trips here. He visits Texas. He visits Texas enough, and you don't have to grow up there in order to to suck in the culture. And I don't think the title America means fucking anything to a Black person. It shouldn't. Yeah. America, I mean, hold up.
Well, I mean,
as far as how they portray it, as far as American pride. I mean, if anything, I'll say Black pride, and you feel me?
Yeah,
with that,
but Black.
American, I would definitely say he's Black, but it's a dangerous line to try to put things on him without knowing his whole story and actually being there with him.
That's true.
But that's my thing. Yeah.
But the only reason I say that is because typically that behavior is abnormal amongst. Like, I feel like
But what do you mean as far as behavior?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Like, all right, I feel like if the four of us are outside and we're in the bar and you're talking, Tommy, you talking to a John, and down the line we going out multiple times and you bring the John with you, I feel like that we're not going to talk to your John. I feel like it's a general consensus that we understand that that's not okay. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, but with that saying, like that's us in a normal life. These people are in a small circle, and we all know they fuck the same people.
We've heard that.
If you're not married, we all know they're getting passed around. From the NBA players to the rappers, then they might upgrade and get an actor. But the accusations isn't that
he's just dealing with the people. The accusation is he's going around their backs, and
or is it the woman who's going? You saying, you know, she has to play into this as well. It's not like he's just saying, "Come over here, you're mine now."
Well, that's I don't know what's going on, but that's the accusation. The accusation.
Yeah, but you also got to put some of the, you know, if that's your girlfriend, you feel me? You don't blame the dude. Of you blame the woman for stepping out. So it's like, what he supposed to do? Not be who he is and you know, attract women that want to fuck him. That's just coming from disgruntled guys.
But that also speaks to morals.
Let me stop all y'all for a second. Does that stop you from the actual moral decision to indulge in that female? So, for example, if I have a girl, and all of y'all know that's my girl, and we're all around her, she's all hanging around us, and she comes up on you, will that make it okay for you to indulge in that?
Yes.
Some men will say yes. Some men will say yes.
Because that's not your girl.
Would it be okay for me? Would it be okay for me as a man? And I'm not saying I would do this, but would it be, let me step out of my shoes. Would it be okay for a man to feel some type of way at the man that did it with his girl or his so-called girl?
I mean, if you're not emotionally intelligent and you put that shit on another man instead of the person you supposed to direct it at, yeah, but you're not. If your woman step out first, it really is on you for choosing somebody like that and believing that y'all together and not seeing the signs. Then you put the blame, you know, some on the woman. But first it's you in the mirror, and then it's the woman for stepping out on you. And it still has to do with you. What did you not do, or what did you not show that allowed her?
What did she need?
The only thing. Here's the thing. Because what y'all are saying is not wrong at all. It's both parties' fault. It takes two to tango. I understand all of that. But if we're bros or family, we have a code that we go by.
But it seems like bros before hoes has gone out the window in this conversation.
No, it's not about the normal, you feel me, the code that, you know, we have. They live by different codes. They're in a business industry where it's entertainment. They're not dating everybody. They don't trust anybody to fucking date. You feel me? They're dating.
They're fucking women
who they know. Yeah, but they know first. I'm more than likely I won't get a disease. She's probably testing herself all the time because she's getting passed around. Two, I can pay her some money. She's known for taking money. Let me smash. And three, more than likely she's not going to open her mouth until she's probably old and write a book about it. So it's like, they have a small pool of people that they're interacting with, even if they're not fucking them. So it's like, who else are they supposed to, you feel me?
But I feel you. So let me ask you. So then, are we saying that these people are being petty for complaining? Is that what we're saying?
If it's about a woman, yes.
Yeah, if it's about a woman
about a woman, yes.
Yeah, to another man. Come on, bro. Look in the mirror.
I feel like the issues have to be bigger than a woman for two men to actually, you know.
I think it's more. I mean, I think it's more than just women. But in some cases, I think it's women. But I think the general consensus is that they just don't respect the way he moves as a man. I think.
But then you feel me? If you at the top, I mean, talk about somebody's respect. Even if you ain't, I don't give a fuck if you don't give me your respect. You feel me?
Right.
As long as you don't be disrespectful in person, who care less how you feel about me. I think
that's where the beef kind of starts, right? So it's like, I don't respect him, so boom, we're gonna take this shot because we don't respect him, regardless of what it is. We don't like the way he's moving. He's moving funny. He's moving shady. Here we're gonna diss him. But who you feel?
It's gonna be interesting when everybody starts shining the light on all the other people. What their background looking like.
Well, we already know half this cast is sketch. You already know future sketch. You already know these guys are.
They're all being hypocritical. That's the thing. They're talking about a system that they agreed to sign up and be a part of. It's like Big Brother. When you go into the house and they just film every fucking second of you. You fighting, you arguing, you're crying, you're drinking. That's all it is. It's a big bubble in them people. It's entertainment, man. If you take it for more than that, that's on you.
Well, that's us, but like, that's their lives. So obviously, the perspective for them would be different as it is for us. Yeah, we look at it like, yeah, it's whatever. I turn it on, turn it off. Right. I can give a shit. Yeah. But yeah, for them, I'm sure it's impactful. So how do y'all feel?
It might not be, because we all know they're characters.
Yeah.
Even the actors, they're not like that when they go home.
No, they're not.
You gotta live it though. You gotta live it, and because you gotta live it, no, you have to live it.
You gotta project it, because Future already said that he don't do no drugs. You know what I'm saying? So it's about what you project as the character, as he said.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, projection is what I'm trying to say, man. I'm not trying to say live it as in like do everything you're saying you do, but you have to actually live the character that you're portraying. Like Drake can't, get off stage and then go walk down the street as just, I'm not Drake no more. I'm just Aubrey. And walk down the street. Like, no, it can't happen.
It bleeds into your personal life.
Right. It goes there. Right. So you have to kind of live where you. Right.
Let me ask you guys. See, when I listen to music, especially in a situation when it's one over another, I'm listening to music with the eyes and the ears of a criteria, right? Because we can say music is subjective, and we all have our opinions on who we like. But if you're looking at a criteria like lyrics, beats, flow, impact, who do y'all feel like? I guess you could say you don't have to do song for song, but who do you say really like laid it down?
I'll go last.
Well, I'll go first.
No,
go ahead, Tom. Yeah.
He has not said nothing. You gotta say
nothing.
Go ahead. So I can answer. Repeat the question so I can answer it correctly.
Yeah. Because I'm tired of editing myself. For real, I'll be like.
Well, so what I'm saying is, if you look at the different elements of what's going on, from lyrics, beat selection, impact as far as how it's impacted the public, how it's impacted social media, how it's impacted radio personalities, like who do you feel is up right now? Like, let's say it's not over. Who do you think is winning right now? Who do you think is people are favoring right now?
I mean, I feel like the people might have heard both sides, to be honest. Like, I'm checking comments on little posts and stuff, and it's very double-sided. So to dissect this, one thing that I like that Drake did was his approach on his disses, like his beat selection, his flow. It was very familiar to the ear. It was catchy some of the times, and he still was spitting like certain bars and shit. With Kendrick, like initially on like a record or two, I kind of didn't like it. I had to actually really concentrate and listen a little bit to hear certain things. And then when I heard it, I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like, is he saying this or is he doing this? Whatever the case may be. So I say that Kendrick's approach was a little more unique, so to say. His approach was a little more unique than Drake's. Drake's was on some current beat. I'm gonna spit a current flow, and I'm gonna talk my shit. I mean, so it's more friendly to the ear now. Like for people who don't really dissect music or care about that, or the actual art of creating music and being so diverse and coming from different angles. I feel like people are gonna say that Drake won because it's more simplistic with Drake. There's no complexity in his approach versus Kendrick. But me personally, now not for the people, I like, me writing music for 10 years, I like the angles that Kendrick came up with. I didn't like the beats he came up with. I like the beats that Drake had, but I did like the angles of what Kendrick did. Now to this point where it's just like, is these allegations, and I don't know what's true or not. Time will tell, but I feel like time will really tell who's the winner, because if these allegations come out to be 100% not true, then it'll just look like Kendrick was just saying mad bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really pick a winner right now. What I'm gonna say is that they both fucking each other up. Like both sides. It's like watching a good boxing fight, and you're just like, wow, who's gonna win? Who's gonna fall down? You know. So you know, any answer to me is pretty much your preference of your artist and what you like listening to, because both artists on both sides came with strong cases on what they put out. So, you know, if you know, I'm gonna say Kendrick because I like him as an artist more than Drake. I do like Drake, but if I had to choose from the two, I'm gonna go with Kendrick. And I'm gonna go with really the angles, like the fact that he didn't have to pick fire beats. Like Meet the Grams, I didn't like that beat at all. Sounded like a 7-year-old made it in 1998. You know what I'm saying? But the angle that he decided to do on that beat is what actually wowed me. He took a beat that was, in my opinion, fucking horrible or trash or just too outdated, and he came at an angle in such a creative way, talking to the whole family and this and that. Like that angle and what he was saying and how he ended it and everything was very witty to me. I think it's very hard to duplicate that type of style in any kind of rap battle versus picking a hard beat. You know, in every rap battle, someone always picked a hard beat or a fire beat and they said some fire to it. This is the first battle where it's just very different with the beat selection. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is he thinking about? You know, especially with Meet the Grams. But I'm gonna only edge it to Kendrick because he didn't use the prototype formula. Winning a battle, he hardly picked fire beats. His beats were decent, okay, or in my opinion, some of them was just horrible. But the angle he did, that's very hard to duplicate. That's like anyone else. Like I said about 3-4 episodes ago, when Rick Ross was dissing Drake, I didn't like that beat. Like that sounded like some hip hop Zen music, some shit I listen to go to sleep. That's just like a hip hop version. I did not like the beat, so I like Drake's approach, keeping it current with the style of music and everything. And I also I like what Drake did, but I appreciate what Kendrick did. So on the artist side of it, for someone who's actually like took time to write music, I could actually understand where Kendrick is coming from a little bit. You know, some people in music, you know, they're just, you know, they're just fans that just listen to music. So that's why I like what Drake did too, because Drake definitely came hard with his shit. So, you know, those times when Kendrick came out with shit, I'm like, it's over for Drake. And Drake came out with some fire again. So I'm only going to edge it to Kendrick because I could appreciate the artistry and the angles that he used. Only off of that. But, you know, I feel like the internet's going to probably say Drake won.
Drake is very
good. Allegations don't come
to
be true.
Drake is very good. He's very good at Drake is very good at.
I said that the internet is saying that Drake won, and I can understand that, and it's gonna be that way unless like these allegations end up being true or whatever.
So yo, I'm like Ack. I'm one of the biggest Drake fans, nigga, and I say Kendrick is up. I say Kendrick is up, and I'm one of the biggest Drake fans.
I think I just had a delusion just now.
No, but you gotta listen though. Kendrick cannot out-rap Drake. He cannot out-rap Drake. I think Drake out-rapped him.
Let me ask you a question. What do you mean when you say out-rap? Because this is where it gets very muddy. We talk about rap music. How do you?
Okay, got you. So Kendrick, like Tone just said, Kendrick, well, he could rap, but the way that he raps, it's more. What's the word? You know the word that I'm looking for.
Complex?
Over the head.
Complex. There you go. It's more complex than Drake. Drake is very he keeps it very basic so that the world understands, you know, and you don't have to go actually look up, you know, things to figure out what the fuck he's saying. Whereas Kendrick, you know, you have to go look up some shit to figure out what the fuck he was saying in his diss on a couple of them, you know.
So does it make it better? Does it make it better that it's simpler to understand?
And that's subjective. That's subjective. And then when I say he can't out rap Drake, I just mean like I just mean to the public ear without people going to do research. You get what I'm saying? And this probably not even completely. He probably can't out rap Drake, He just hasn't yet. And that's what I'm saying. He has not out-rapped Drake yet. As far as beats, I give that to Drake too. But strategy, the way that they came into the battle is Kendrick. And the narrative, because of the narrative, I give it to Kendrick. When I heard what is it called? Meet the what? Grams?
Meet the Grams. Yeah.
When I heard Meet the Grams, I was like, oh my God. It's like Drake. He did it to you. He did it to you too. You know, I'm like, damn, Drake. But no, I'm like, okay. Then I saw that that Drake said, oh no, I set this shit up. So you know, they just got you believing different shit and whatnot, you know. But the whole time I see Kendrick pushing the narrative of a pedophile. And the last song, I don't know what it's called. What is it called? The one that he
Not Like Us.
Not Like Us.
Not Like Us. I was like, yo, this shit is fire. I was like, he killed Drake. It's over for Drake. But I'm like, man, yo, I took time to think about it. I'm like, all he did though was painted a narrative of Drake being a pedophile. And as I look at that, I'm like, okay, well, he won. You know, he got the job complete. Like, if he came into a battle to fucking win, he did it. You know, he did it. But I don't like the narrative because you fucking with my money now at this point. Like, I might have a deal with Adidas right now, and you're paying me as a pedophile. This song is #1 in the world. You paying me as a pedophile. That's fucking with my money, and this is just supposed to be a rap battle. You get what I'm saying? I just wanted to rap.
It's important to say that if there was no validity in it, no one would care.
But that's true. But because it's a battle and it's going on right now, and then, you know, we might find out later down the road that this shit is not true. But as of right now, look at where we're putting Kendrick. I'm putting Kendrick above Drake. Like, I gave it to him. I'm like, he got it. He won. You know, but if it turns out not to be true.
But you're giving it to Kendrick because you don't like what he's saying, not necessarily what it's doing, because there hasn't been any effects yet to his allegations. So you just don't like what it is and what it could possibly do, but it hasn't done anything yet.
I like it. I like it. I was like, he's killing this shit. I like it, but you're right. I don't like what he's saying. Like, no, that's fucking wrong. I would never paint nobody as a pedophile. Not unless I seen this, unless I have proof that somebody's a fucking pedophile. Otherwise, as a man, I just feel like that's wrong. And I get that it's rap. I just feel like that's wrong, and that's my opinion. Gotcha. But I got Kendrick up. I got Kendrick up for that there. And if it all turns out to be not true, and then, you know, if we go back to look at this, Kendrick would still be up. You get what I'm saying? So it's important, you know, it's important what's said, even though we might find out that it's not true down the road. This is now, and we're only living in now. So as of now, we only taking what people are saying, you know, at their word, at the face value, and Kendrick is up.
Tommy, what you think, Tommy?
Go ahead. It's Thomas.
Thomas, I'm sorry.
Y'all let's do that. Let's do that in New York.
They did that in New York.
Someone do that shit too.
Sorry, Thomas.
Don't call me.
My bad, bro.
We want nicknames.
Hell no, fuck that. I got Drake up, man. I got Drake up.
You got Drake?
Yeah, I got Drake. Okay. Not only because, but for the main reasons, because the things that Kendrick are, you know, he's leading with, as far as that the child, and then the whole, you know, messing with young girls. Drake, not just the daughter, but the whole fucking with little girls. He said that, remember, with Tupac's voice. He said, talk about this about Drake.
Real quick.
So, yeah.
That whole narrative came from Joe Budden. That whole narrative of Drake liking little girls came from Joe Budden. And that's why he said it. And when he said it in Tupac's voice, he was like, hey, you know, we seen this on the Joe Budden podcast. You know, it came from Joe Budden. I watched the fucking episode when that shit happened. And I hated it.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
So it's like he already made fun of that and brought it up. You feel me? So so Kendrick talking about it without any evidence, it's a rebuttal without any substance. You're literally reiterating what he already said. This the
way that was presented.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fucking art. Drake presented it as
art.
Yeah, but Drake presented it as art as well. Even more complex art. He used AI. You feel me? It was way more complex than just saying something that somebody already said and then saying it more aggressive. You don't get a point for that rebuttal.
I will say, just to interject, I'm gonna let you finish. I didn't respect the AI play. I felt like it was disrespectful for him to do Pac because he didn't even get permission from the family. Like, niggas, that's like some like fuck culture.
It's war.
Listen what I'm telling you. You gonna risk your career for war because it's a real family that really will sue your ass and you really will lose. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I felt like it was a reach because he wanted to appeal to the West Coast. And Snoop is alive. Snoop is alive.
I did like that angle.
Yeah, but
I thought it was cool.
I did too.
The thing is, even Snoop liked it. He didn't have no problem about it.
Snoop did like it. Snoop did like it. But why not ask him? Why not say you'll come through?
But y'all say in war everything is a go.
I'm not saying that he's wrong for doing it. I'm not saying that he's wrong for doing it. Yes, it was creative. I'm not saying he's wrong for doing it. I don't think that it landed the way he thought it was gonna land.
I think
I agree.
He used it. I'm not sure we could say
as far as how people took it. I liked it, but some people didn't.
But the thing
is, they thought it was trash because they thought it was like a fake AI type of thing again, instead of understanding that it was Drake rhyming and they mixed his voice to sound like these artists are talking about. It wasn't AI at all. When you really think about it, just the fact that AI
it was just like
they shoot it down.
It was just like a filter. It was like an audio filter on the voice, basically.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
but with that being said, I feel like him using it was smart. Everybody's been putting out these, is this an AI diss? Is this an AI diss? So then he puts it in there, and he of course he chose those two people because it's the West Coast. He was making a statement, and I feel like I'm not gonna say he didn't land with his intentions of using that, because we never know what his intentions was. Like, he could have been setting up the play how he wanted to, you feel me, or however he wanted to. But I feel like just overall, as far as everything, creativity, I gotta give it to Drake.
You think that Tupac, let me ask you a question. You think that the Tupac AI Snoop angle was more creative than writing a letter to everyone in your family?
I love that.
I mean,
because that's like Nas level shit.
I love that.
I wouldn't say that's Nas level shit. I wouldn't say he literally talked. It literally was a letter. He really wasn't rapping like that. If you read that shit,
and it wasn't I'm dissing everybody in your family. It's, I really want to tell your pops that he's a piece of shit because the way he raised you. Your children. Let's say the daughter isn't even real. Let's erase that verse. Adonis is going to have to hear that verse at some point in his life.
Yeah, but he knows his father, and I'm pretty sure his father is going to tell him, this shit is entertainment. Do not take anything that you hear or see about me. He's gonna respect his dad. That shit not gonna mean nothing. So I'm saying, like,
I got 3 kids. I'm gonna tell you something about kids. You can tell them whatever you want. They're gonna believe what they believe. You can guide your children.
Yeah, because the thing is, you can't just tell anybody nothing. You gotta lead by example. Now, if you're not leading by example as you should, or there's ways, because we all gotta improve. But if you're not improving, of course they're not gonna listen to you because they're not seeing you do it. So of course they're gonna start making their own thing.
That's true, but outside of that, everyone interprets things differently regardless. You have to always be able to, after whatever information is implemented, you have to kind of like course correct and assess to see how did you digest that information. So regardless, even we talking about Adonis I don't know, 12 years from now. What about his moms right now? He's texting his moms when Rick Ross calls him a white boy. So what do you think his moms is
but
I'm
pretty sure he's gotten this conversation from his dad, because if you have a mixed child, you should be having these conversations with him.
No, not that conversation. I'm just saying in general.
You said he was a white boy. So
no, not that conversation. I'm saying Rick Ross called him a white boy, and we see the screenshot of text of Drake talking to his mom saying Rick Ross is racist, which is another.
In his defense, that was a message from his mom's first to him, asking about what was going on.
That's the point that I'm making. That's the point that I'm making. So if his mom's is texting him about that, what do you think the conversations are right now about your son is a pedophile?
But then again, this shit he could have just easily did that shit on Photoshop. You feel me? It's all entertainment to set shit up. I mean, I'm not trying to analyze shit. What could have, what would, behind the scenes shit.
Well, let's take it at face value. Let's take it at face value and say that what we see is the truth, because who knows, right? It could be Photoshop. But if we take it at face value, I would say that was impactful. I know.
I believe, like I was saying, like everything they did had an impact when it came to this battle. But overall creativity, I'll give it to Drake. Not just his flows, but how he attacked them from the beginning to now, from the whole waiting period, all of it, the whole creativity behind it, the means, everything that he did to get Kendrick to finally come out, and then possibly had set him up with all the angles that he's so-called leading with. They're saying it came from the cam. It's like, and he told him about the messing with the child. He made fun of it and told him to talk about it, and he is doing that. So it's like I'm saying. So I don't feel like Kendrick. He didn't do nothing special. The letter is different as far as battling. I mean, but like I said, he was just talking, and again, there's these people. So it's like you call the top dog out. Let's say how we were saying in boxing, you call the top dog out in boxing, and you don't go in there and annihilate him, and he just hit you with jabs all night, because that's just what he does. If you do not knock him out, you do not win.
Right,
it doesn't matter. Lose. So it's like the rebuttals that he's been doing hasn't been nothing. No evidence at all. He's just talking. The letter. It's cute, but you're still showing how less of a man. I'm not. If I'm attacking you, I'm not talking about your family. You can talk about my family, but unless I got some hard evidence on it, I ain't gonna talk about it. It's not gonna give me no points. But all that to say is, so the flow, I give it to Drake too. Aggression, I definitely give it to Kendrick. I mean, what else is there, man?
Beat selection. How you felt about the beat selection?
Beats. I definitely got to give it to Drake. Obviously, he did what he was going to do. But everybody did what he was going to do. But that's just him. So you really, it's like Mayweather coming in and doing the shoulder roll. He's going to do that. That's just what that's in his arsenal. He's going to do that. So I feel like this battle, and that's why I don't care who. Even in the beginning, I was like,
I want to jump in real quick on the creative aspect of this. To put y'all on to this. When it comes to the creative part, Kendrick has won by a landslide, and I will explain why.
I agree with you on that one. That's why I put Kendrick up.
Your boy Drake was like, when you come at me, you better come at me with a quadruple entendre, some crazy shit. Kendrick can come up with songs where the title itself is a quadruple entendre. Just the title itself, not Meet the Grams, minus Meet the Grams.
I'm talking about 16.
Just because
I don't believe that was all intentional.
Just because somebody raps some shit that's over your head, we done seen many battles a nigga rap over somebody's head in the crowd. Don't give a fuck about that. Especially when you go to New York, you get on the URL stage, and you don't rap the shit that you're supposed to rap when you're in a battle.
We're talking about creativity in the art of rap.
Yeah, but that's what you're talking about, though. That's
no.
Drake has shown me nothing creative. Drake is literally saying, Kendrick, you're short. You're not in the big three. It's me counting myself twice. And then he's spreading allegations just like Kendrick is.
That's one thing, though. That's one thing, though. That's for sure.
The only thing creative that he did was the Tailor Made. That's the most creative thing he did. I'll give him Tailor Made. That's the most creative thing that he's done so far in this battle.
Even with his flows?
See, that's you're trying to narrow his creativity down to certain specific that you want to talk about, but you cannot limit his creativity on making them songs. Right in the lyrics. But how he responded to him and how he set shit up.
But the songs weren't really creative. Like if we go back to what we just said, they're very Drake. They're very similar to what he always does.
But just because he does that doesn't take away from his creativity. Just because he makes the shit look easy doesn't mean he's less creative than Kendrick, who has to do a triple entendre and all that shit in order to captivate people. If he did it, he wouldn't be able to make the type of songs that Drake can keep it simple, whether he has writers or not. He can keep it simple, and he still hit the.
I don't harp on the writers thing.
Hold on, Bobbie. Hold on one sec. On the Meet the Grams beat, you see how simple that beat was? Like it didn't have much going on to that beat.
I mean, simplicity is the best, and when you have a game plan,
hear me out.
When you have a game plan, though, you stick to it.
Yeah.
One note in it.
You said what?
That beat had one key note in it, and that was A minor.
But it's not all about the beat. Again, you try to focus and pinpoint on one thing.
No, he's talking about the creativity. That's smart as hell.
You cannot limit the creativity just to the beat. It's you as an artist, you know it takes.
It's the note.
The title of the song.
It's the note.
It's everything.
It's the note.
The artwork. It's everything. He's creating.
I thought Kendrick killed him with that
aspect. On every single aspect of creating a song or creating music.
To be fair, though. To be fair, if you take the daughter out of the 11-year-old daughter out of that song, it doesn't serve its purpose. It's not as strong. I don't believe it's as strong.
Because I believe I'm gonna tell you that's shock factor, but each verse kind of lived on its own.
When he was talking to Adonis, I felt that, yeah. But when he was talking,
you take the dog out and he's talking to his pops and telling him he ain't shit.
But I don't feel like it's as strong anymore.
Well, because
it takes the shock value out of it. You're not wild no more. It's not now. He's just talking a little bit of shit, and we could talk shit back and forth all day, But now, you took the shock value out of the whole thing, and it doesn't serve its purpose no more. Or it might serve its purpose. I might be using the word right. It's just not as strong. It's not as powerful.
It's not as strong. Yes.
Right.
Yes. But the creativity of the
creativity is there.
The general sense of the song, I think it doesn't take anything away from what it's about. You know what I mean? It's like Nas doing the reverse song. Like if he didn't talk about, or the Nas being a gun song. Like if there's one part of it that's taken out, that doesn't lessen the general idea of the body of the song. You know what I mean? So
be honest. Go ahead.
I don't know.
Be honest, if we find out these allegations are lies down the road, and then Kendrick lost this whole battle, I think Drake wins.
I agree with that. I agree with that too. The allegations are 100% not true. Then it's like if everything that Kendrick was saying was straight cap, his value, like the creativity and the angles are the only things that we could recognize is like, wow, that was a good fight. But a lot of the shit you were saying was not even true. So a lot of shit a lot of your punches, they're not valid. So,
but the only allegation that would be up for question would be the daughter, because the grooming is the evidence for the grooming is online. So that's not.
He hasn't been convicted of. We're not talking
about a crime. We're not talking about the crime. We're talking about the allegation. The allegations are out there, and there's evidence of allegation. There's not evidence of conviction.
It's like we were saying earlier. It's evidence for anybody that believes that to see that from their perspective.
From their perspective,
being in a circle, like how you were saying, you don't know the relationship of, like I said, these people are all in a small circle. They do not associate with regular people.
I'm not talking about I'm not.
No, what I'm saying is we don't know the dynamic of. They could all be family. They could be doing the Italian kiss on the cheek. We don't know. And then when that person gets the age, you're not family. So I mean,
not the model that I just saw on
the girl that he shut down the whole restaurant for. It was a young girl Drake shut down a whole restaurant for when she turned 18.
The model
to go on a date with her.
But that you still don't know why. Like
money.
Yeah, you still don't know why.
The model that he met when she was 16 and waited till she turned 18. We have to stop protecting people who do shit like this. We have to.
16 is legal in some right. That's true. But 16 is legal in some states. And to say I would still say that too. Yeah, but it's still legal in some states, and you can't just call him a pedophile because he's doing something that is legal in some states.
I agree. But the general consensus would be how people perceive that behavior, whether it's legal or not. People are he still has millions of fans who look at him every day and follow what he does. So those fans are still gonna form an opinion based on his actions. So whether we all agree that we okay with it by law, his fan base is still gonna judge him based on their idea on what's appropriate.
Yeah, but I don't think his fans are gonna go nowhere. If anyone, it's gonna be the people that didn't like him, and then it's only the people that didn't like him. This is the reason I don't want to be a fan no more.
Right. Actually, I think Tom is a bigger Drake fan than me. He probably won't admit it. He ain't gonna admit it, but he's sitting here backing Drake like crazy. I'm like, damn, I gave it to Kendrick.
Nah, it's nothing to admit. I just see it different. I
do too.
I don't see Kendrick coming in there doing anything spectacular to say he won. Drake did what he does. Each song, Kendrick did not do nothing. All he did was talk louder. You don't get into a ring and say, "Oh, because I rushed him."
Bro.
That last one, Kendrick was talking. He wasn't talking loud, but he was talking loud.
If we in a boxing match, listen. If we in a boxing match and you just keep rushing me, but I keep tagging your ass and making you back up, but you just keep coming, you not gonna win, bruh. But if I continue to do what I do.
But I think I think that's a misrepresentation of what Kendrick was doing. I think neither one of them were rushing at each other, but I do believe that you are undervaluing the skill level of Kendrick by saying that Drake, did better. Like I don't feel like.
I mean, that's your opinion, but I'm not. I do think Kendrick is an amazing artist. He's a genius. That's why he's able to do what he does, and no one else is. Because if it was that easy, everybody would be able to do those rap fast or trip on entendre. Motherfuckers do that all day, but nobody can do it like how he does. So I'm not taking away from him. But when it comes to this battle, I'm seeing I don't give a fuck about either of them. I don't care. I used to listen to him, but I don't listen to none of them. Drake is. He's not a man that I would listen to no more. That's for children who's teens that's going through emotional problems and crybabies and shit. Kendrick, he got problems. He want to fight a man, whether it's just entertainment or not. It's too much attention to a man, bro. I can see the battle and all that, but when you're doing certain allegations and stuff without any evidence and you allowing the other person, Drake is still coming into the next round doing what he does. He's not coming in, oh, you hit me with that punch. My leg's a little wobbly. He's not doing that.
Well, he's not supposed to. I mean, he can't, though. Like, really and truly, he can't.
If he get hit hard enough, you going to. It ain't no...
I think you underestimate people's pride. I think you underestimate...
Pride don't got shit to do with if I hit you in your mouth and you fucking stumble. That ain't got shit to do with pride. You can have heart and get back up and get your ass knocked the fuck out again.
These are proverbial hits. Like let's be real. You're talking proverbial hits. People with pride will always come back. We're not talking about anything that actually physically stops him from going to
shit. Emotions, your body don't know the difference. Your body don't know the difference from the pain, whether you acting it or not.
Facts. Think about how he sounded on the last record. You don't think that he was emotionally worn out by the end of that record?
I'm glad you just brought that up. I think that he doesn't want to fight with somebody that's... Go ahead.
Because he said out his own mouth that He is. He said he.
Listen to how he spit
but once again, if I'm beating your ass the whole fight and it go to the 12 rounds,
I'm tired.
I win. Am I supposed to give you another round just to give you another round and it's not making me nothing? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You not doing nothing. We just sitting in here. Now we sparring.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point? You're not knocking me out. You're not hitting me.
Yeah, charity
you're not
work.
hitting me at all. I'm doing exactly what I want to, and I'm supposed to do this all day, all night for 12 days.
So you call it a draw?
Fuck no, I'm not calling it a draw. I'm calling it Drake won. Kendrick got in there.
Yeah,
and
Kendrick was short, and Kendrick hit his wife. That's all he said. In 3-4 disses.
You know what it is?
And he beat his wife.
You know what it is?
The kid might not be yours.
Yeah, Tone, you wishy-washy, man.
The cadence of
what people were saying.
I'm gonna tell you, the cadence of Drake and the way that he rhymes is hypnotizing, and it's very hard for people to hear Drake get in his bag and say he didn't say nothing, because he don't never really say nothing. But his cadence and the way that when he pick a beat that's Drake, he pick a Drake beat, you're hypnotized by it, you're in it. Because trust me, when I hear a Drake beat, I'm ready to listen. So I think
ain't hypnotized by no man.
I think that when he's getting into the battle, he's not doing much. He's not stepping far outside of what he already does all the time. So he puts people back in that hypnosis to like keep you back on his team. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how I feel.
Yeah, but I don't get it, because it's like Hitman Holler, he can get into a battle right now. You know what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Each round, you know what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
You know it. Now, if you don't come in there and destroy him with something crazy that ain't nobody seen, you gonna lose, no matter what stage it's on.
Yeah, because he's a performer, and the way he's
performing though. All of this shit, all music in all art forms is still performance.
True. So in that sense, in that vein, if that's what I'm judging it on, Drake didn't perform. He's doing the same shit he always does. He didn't.
That's what they said with Mayweather. He's boring. He's not knocking people out. He's winning. He's doing what he does. The same shit he does every fight.
But he's still better. But he's still actually better. Drake is not actually better than Kendrick.
But if a person can get into if I get into a match with you and I do what the fuck I want to do, which is what I always do, and you don't change it up, you lose.
I think that when we're talking about, like, even the comparisons are very hard to use, because boxing, there's gonna be score. When we talk about rap, my biggest issue with rap music in conversation is that there is no criteria to actually score and give a grade for each thing. Boxing, we gonna go 12 rounds, but there's guys scoring the round. There is no one.
It is there. We just talked about it. We talking about beats. We talking about creativity. We talking about delivery.
But they're subjective.
But we're still giving our opinions. We're not. It's not three people sitting together and we all three are deciding on the one score. You get what I'm saying?
The one winner, right?
Yeah, but you can say that about boxing. Just because the judge say that person win. Yes, you can, because there's a lot of people say, "Oh, that person got robbed," or "This person should have won," or "This."
Yeah, but the fact remains that person won. Like, that's what's going on the sheet here.
And the fact remains that there's actually numbers. Like, there's no numbers in rap battles. There's no score, grades, nothing. In boxing, there's actual numbers that you have to tally up.
But there is though. Before they stopped judging battles, they were judging battles per round, and there was winners.
But that's what should be happening right now. But because it's not like in a confined space with actual judges that give their actual, like, in their opinion, rules. There's no way to actually measure it. So, so we're always gonna.
Why does it have to be
the court of public opinion?
But why does it have to? Why does the judging have to be a certain in a certain criteria when it hasn't been put into like hip hop battling like that?
Right. Well, it's not that it has to be, right? Obviously, it doesn't have to be. It's helpful in getting it, because really it's almost impossible to say that anybody ever wins or loses. No one ever loses, right? Because technically, Jay-Z did Takeover, Nas did Ether, and then Jay-Z did Super Ugly. There's people walking around saying that Jay-Z won. We'll never know.
Exactly.
We'll never fucking know. That don't make no sense. Super Ugly was trash. He just said something very reckless, and he still lost, essentially, because Nas was more clever. Nas threw certain things in there. The beat was awesome. Super Ugly was like a remix to a beat. It was so we're gonna live in the world of subjectivity. We can't live in that world if we're talking about wanting winners and wanting losers, wanting to know who's better than the other. So when we're talking about this particular battle here, it really does lend itself to say, when we say who's more creative, we have to, creativity has to be like, all right, so who's not doing what they usually do? Because if K-Dot does what he always does and Drake does what he always does, are either one of them being creative? Not really.
Yeah. I would, like I said before, you just because they make it look easy and they do it all the time doesn't mean it's not creative.
I don't think that is. I get what you're saying. I don't think that it's not creative to a degree, but it's not extraordinarily creative for the task.
But you just want something new. Not that it's not creative, but being new, just because it's new doesn't mean it's creative.
That's true too, but it being new does make it creative because it's actually you creating something new. You're actually doing something different. You're creating as opposed to repeating or copying what you've done in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing you is genuinely the same. The antithesis of creative.
Yeah, but I don't think he stayed the same. No, I definitely get that, but I don't think he stayed the same. I still give it to him, man. So overall, I give it to Drake.
I think Drake did do some. He did definitely do some damage. And the last record, I do like how he lowered the beat. He brought it to like that dark Drake. You know what I mean? And tried to get in and he threw a couple of lines in there. I respect Drake because he always rises to the challenge. Anybody who wants to come at him, he doesn't back down. I respect Drake for that always, because he knows he's the outsider. He knows he's the visitor in this space as far as culturally, geographically. He knows his place, but he always rises to the occasion. So I applaud him. I just think I have a bias towards the technicality of hip hop, right? So like when people say Eminem is trash, I say that's not a thing. You can never say Eminem is trash because technically he's a genius. So when it's like math problems, right? If someone is getting 100 in their fucking like trigonometry class, that nigga's the man. Regardless of what you say, his technical ability supersedes everyone else's. So when I'm listening to rap and I'm like the triple entendres, the quadruple entendres, shows a level of thinking that supersedes the average person. Him winning a Pulitzer Prize, I believe, is overlooked. I don't think the general public has looked into what a Pulitzer Prize is and equate it to his level of genius.
Let us know what it is.
Well, a Pulitzer Prize is a worldwide award for the best literary person of the year, right? So they gave Kendrick Lamar the Pulitzer Prize for, if I'm not mistaken, To Pimp a Butterfly, basically deeming it a masterpiece of writing. And you're talking about, novel writers, people who write reviews and studies, and like world renowned, critics of writing gave this guy the first hip hop artist to receive a Pulitzer Prize award. So when I'm looking at him, it's hard for me to separate the fact that he was awarded a certain level of writing genius and to say, like, to take what he does lightly. Like, it's very difficult for me to look. It's like Lupe Fiasco for me. Lupe Fiasco is off the wall, out of control a writer. Like, it's so when it comes to like creativity in the sense of writing, it's very difficult for me to get there. Now, Drake is an awesome writer, and I give him his credit for writing, whether he uses ghostwriters, whether he uses multiple writers because he has written songs for people. So when people say he doesn't write, I'm like,
that's what I've been saying.
It's like you just want to say he doesn't write because he has written for other people.
Because he has written, right?
So
that was me.
He uses writers because he wants to be a pop star. He understands to be the biggest pop star, you're gonna use writers to get the best songs so you can make
collaborate.
He's smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's capable. So why limit myself out of ego when I can utilize these tools and just be the best? Like, he wants to beat all the records. He will beat all the records. He's already there. But when it comes to creativity, bro, it's very difficult for me to just give that to anybody. He's a star. He raps very well. He writes really good songs. Is he the best rapper though? That's when it's like I start having to break down, like, all right, so what do we mean by best? Like, what's the definition? I need to understand what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Because people conflate words. People conflate the English language. So they use best and they say Lil Yachty. And I'm like, well, how? Because he's funny. And I'm like, that makes him the best? To me, it's my opinion. All right. He's the best. He's the best. So it
depends on what you like.
It lends itself to clarifying what you mean by best. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I see it. But I think
Kendrick up.
I think this is an awesome conversation. I get Kendrick up because even strategically, when Drake released I didn't even know he released a record. He released what's the one he did on Friday night? After Taylor Made. What was the one he did after Taylor Made?
Family Matters.
He released. I didn't even know he released Family Matters because Kendrick dropped the shit right behind him. When I wake up to go to work, all I see is Kendrick's song. I had no idea there was a whole nother song before that. So and if you pay attention, Family Matters is a record. No. Meet the Grams is a record that was done. It was complete. Whereas They Not Like Us is a song that he wrote immediately. If you listen to the lyrics, there are more rebuttals in They Ain't Like Us than there is in Meet the Gram, because Meet the Gram is structured to be a standalone song, a concept song that has nothing to do with nothing except for what I'm talking about. So he had that in the chamber.
Right, in the tuck already.
And waited for you to drop.
Right, for him to drop so you could step on it.
So this long-awaited Drake record, we're going to wait for it to drop, and we're going to snub it out with this record that I've been sitting on. and when I drop this, now I'm writing They Ain't Like Us. And he's very good at getting regional. Okay, so now we San Francisco Bay with it. So now we dance song with it. On top of Metro Boomin doing the BBL Drizzy beat. I hope y'all got some verses. I hope y'all got some
cheating,
verses.
By the way. It's too many, like,
it's a waste.
It's too many attacks on one person. It's too many attacks on one person. You're making this guy look like he's a powerful ass fucking super being. Like,
this is the thing.
Thanos.
But this is the thing. When Drake came back and decided to diss everybody, right? In response, fairly.
Push-ups.
He told him to shut the fuck up and make drums. What did you think?
He should have shut the fuck up and make drums. He should have just stayed the fuck out of it. This is between him and Kendrick. Shut the fuck up and make drums.
And I made some.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. He didn't say one word.
Drums online.
That shit was good too. That shit was fire. For real.
From Japan, France, 17-year-olds, 50-year-olds, plastic surgeons. So it's kind of, yes, it sucks that there's multiple people coming out.
It's too many people. Too many people. Then you got Rick Ross ass. It's like, Rick Ross, go sit down, nigga. You turning 50. Sit down.
Hey, do you guys know so do you guys know on the original song, right? Because I listen closely. And no one said this, man. And I'm so surprised, but they probably missed it.
The Diddy?
The Diddy.
Yeah. I did hear it. Yep.
I said that was a very quick switch. And I
can't
wonder
put it out though. And I respect that because, you know, like Kendrick Lamar just did him with this pedophilia shit. You know, I respect him not, you know, changing that around.
I don't think
to not put Rick Ross into that.
I don't think it's what you think.
What you think?
We have to remember. Did he put pause on Drake? Diddy has been known to be a dangerous guy out here. I think he thought twice after he did that. I think it flowed nicely. It actually even sounds better than what he got going in that spot right now. He's like shut up, mind your business. I'm like, this shit don't even rhyme, bro. It sounds.
I think he took it out because he didn't want to attach his name to
absolutely, absolutely. Yes, everything that's going on legally, you know, you don't want to falsely accuse Rick Ross of being involved in anything, or he doesn't want to tell that he is involved in things. But that's a whole nother conversation. Possibly, allegedly, never know.
That wouldn't have came out there. He wouldn't have let that other shit leak if that, you know. Even if he's not in charge of that shit leaking, he wouldn't have said that shit in the verse if he didn't, you know, want to tie. If that was the case, you get what I'm saying? True. I definitely believe he just didn't want to, you know, tie Rick Ross to all this shit. Maybe at the time he did, but for, you know, this song is going to be released to a lot of people.
And when you think know, back once we put it, how much the song will travel, you second guess.
Right.
It's not worth doing it.
And that's why I didn't like what K-Dot did. Like, I get that he wanted to win, and I like the shit was. He had the shit banging. Like, I played this a few times, and I'm not even a Kendrick. That's one thing that it did show me, that Kendrick Lamar is a true artist. This nigga could rap. This nigga could. Because at first I would not listen to him.
Our memories are very short. Kendrick had quite a few hit records, quite a few chart times. Our memory's very short. You know what I'm saying? But that's us as human beings in this world of music where there's new releases every week. It's easy for us to forget. Kendrick makes hits. And he said,
no, I don't listen to rappers though. I really only listen to Wayne and Drake and really nobody else. You know, and I used to stomp on Kendrick Lamar. Like get that nigga out of here. But shit here, this shit showed me like this nigga Kendrick can rap. Like he can rap. I don't think he can out-rap Drake because he hasn't shown that to me. But this nigga can rap. He's skilled. He's a talented person.
There's a lot of good guys out here. Check Joyner Lucas. Joyner Lucas is an awesome rapper. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Yeah, some great rappers.
I don't listen to hip hop no more. It's so young.
You over it?
Yeah.
None of them have out-rap each other. I can't say Kendrick has out-rap Drake. Only person that's out-rap Drake is Eminem on that Forever song.
That's not true. J. Cole on First Person Shooter.
He did actually. I do agree with that. I felt like Drake was
having a better verse. No, there's a difference between leaving someone, meaning having the better verse than someone, and out-rapping someone. Eminem out-rapped everyone on Forever. Like,
I disagree.
Yeah, he did though. I think so.
Eminem.
People say that, but again, it's perspective. Eminem used to be one of my favorite rappers, but that song also had Lil Wayne in it. That song also had Kanye in it. That song also had, who else? That song, like, I like Lil Wayne's verse. I like Kanye's verse. I think I like Lil Wayne's verse the most.
But Eminem out-rapped them. You couldn't even keep up with Eminem. You couldn't even.
And that's why I didn't fuck with him.
But
that's why.
But see, we're talking about two different things. We're talking about the technical aspect of who's actually rapping better versus whose verse we liked more. So we have to understand what we're talking about. Now, you can like Wayne's verse best. He did his thing. Kanye did his thing.
I like Kanye's verse the best, but Eminem, when you can out-rap someone cannot duplicate it in layman's terms.
Or they can't keep up and they can't match.
They can't keep up and
they can't match the skill level. The skill level.
I don't think none. I just touched on this before we wrap up. Shit, I don't think Eminem does anything original. That shit's all copied from us, and I can't give him praise on anything he's fucking copying. I never rock with him.
How he's rapping and putting words together is very hard to duplicate.
Like you have to think.
8 Mile. Hold on, let me educate him. In 8 Mile, on those battles, all those battles were not written for the movie. Some of them were, but every single battle wasn't even written for the movie. He literally just freestyled that shit. All that shit you saw in that movie, not all of it, but to some extent, what you saw him spin in that movie, something was not 100% written. That's not easy. It's not easy to just come off the top of your head and do shit like that.
Everybody's saying it's not easy.
No one said it's not easy.
He had a lot of time to sit back at our culture like this.
Skill to do things a certain way. It takes a certain level of skill to do things a certain way. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you can be great at being top here. I mean, I don't get that shit no grades.
Eminem can rap. He can rap, and you can't take that away from him. He could definitely rap. It's just that I don't fuck with his style of rap. His
lyrics. I don't know. I know. I like stuff like that. What I don't like
you do.
is that I could not relate to him. Like what he was saying.
That's what I don't like about it. It's too fast and you can't relate.
He's making words that don't even rhyme.
Then
in my writing from that shit, but what he's saying it's not punching. It's not like, oh shit, he said that. It's only like 2 Eminem songs. I was like, yo, he really said that. I gotta bring this back. Eminem is really trying to spit bars right here. You know what I'm saying? So some people want to hear bars. Someone wants to hear someone say witty punchlines and shit. And the person who favors that is going to tell you, Eminem is just saying a bunch of nothing mad fast. And I understand that. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, when you're rhyming at that tempo, you have to do double the work. If someone is writing 16 bars, if Eminem is going at that fast tempo like he did on Forever, he had to write 32.
You got to write
double the work, double the pace, and double the rhyming. And then the way he did it, that is a certain skill level to me. Now, if he was saying super fire shit with that shit, I'd be yelling at the top of my lungs that no one is fucking with Eminem. No one. But I do salute his skill level. Like, I listen to him, and it's just like I said, it's not like super fire lines, but I've heard it on a few songs of features he did with people. But to rap like that or to emulate that is damn near physically impossible to a lot of rappers, known rappers.
Like Twister is very underestimated with his like ability to rap like clearly and fast. Like he's in the World Book of Records for like the fastest rapper, the fastest clear, like the most words in like a certain amount of time. And it's like this is when we start talking about good and in conjunction to skill level. Like there's certain people at certain levels based on skill alone, outside of like content, depth, things like that. You know what I mean? So it gets it's complicated and complex. It gets real nerdy when you start talking like that.
Yeah, it gets real nerdy. Nah, but for real, y'all, we gotta wrap this up. I do got one question though. Before we do wrap this up, it should be really short. Do y'all think that Drake responded the way that he should have? You know, because of all the allegations. Do you think he should have responded?
I'm going first.
Go ahead.
So, I like Drake's response. I like the change of the beat. It sounded dark. I got a different feel from Drake. What Drake said in this diss record is that everything you're saying is not true. Or like, and then one thing that I peeped, someone else put me onto rather. I didn't peep it myself, but someone else put me onto it. I'm a dissector musically with lyrics. All 3 of y'all know that. Drake says in the same diss record, oh, we gave you fake information and you took it and da-da-da. And then he says later in the song, whoever gave you all that information is clowns. It's the same song.
Well, that makes sense to me.
Overlook that.
That makes sense to me. If I give you some information and then you go run and tell Kendrick, whoever gave Kendrick this information is a clown. That makes sense to me.
So essentially, you're saying that they knew they had a mole and they set the mole up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nah,
that's what Drake said.
Right? I think he's saying he didn't have a mole in you feel me, and they found him. Oh, you a spy? No. Well, take this information and go over there. They're saying this is take this information over there and feed it to him.
Feed it to him. I'm not saying that he had a mole,
But why call him a clown is the question then. Why would he call him a clown?
Because it's part of the circus.
The person that took that information and believed it, you know? The person that ran with the information, he said that person is a clown.
But he said he fed Kendrick the information.
But he is a clown. If he told him, put his hand in his back and told him to go do something, see, you can call him whatever. Puppet, clown.
Drake said whoever told you that information, Kendrick, is the clown. Let's pay attention to the context here. Drake didn't call Kendrick a clown. Drake told Kendrick that whoever told him that info was the clown, but in the same song, he said that he fed him the false information.
Not
Drake
to
pretty much called himself
Kendrick directly. Not to Kendrick directly. You don't see Drake going to Kendrick like, "Hey, Kendrick, I'm a pedophile." Like, no, you're not gonna see that shit.
Not directly, but Drake saying he's the one that he's responsible for giving him the false information.
He's responsible, or his team is responsible for pushing that narrative or that information to his people that were seeking this information. And the people that are seeking this information, you know, they didn't fact check anything. They just ran with it to you. And because they did that, they're fucking clowns.
He's not calling them clowns. He's calling the person who gave the information a clown.
That's what I'm saying.
He contradicted himself.
Who gave Kendrick the information? How we have a misunderstanding? Hold on. I'm lost.
Because he contradicted himself.
I don't think it's a contradiction. I think he's calling the state for what it is.
Unless he set his guy.
I tell you, me and you are battling, and I tell you, all the information you got from me was false. I made sure that you got that false information. That's like, whoever told you all that information is a clown. I'm calling myself a clown, bro. Don't wait and misdirect that.
But
you're not understanding it, or you're not understanding what I'm saying. Is I gave you this information, but I gave it to you through other people, and the other people that brought you this information is who I'm calling a clown.
So how does that person become a clown if you gave him the information? I don't understand.
Because you didn't fact check it. You just ran with it. You get what I'm saying? You didn't fact check anything.
The people.
I don't think he, like Tony, you saying he's calling the dude the messenger. He's calling the messenger a clown, and he is a clown because now you're performing in my circus. I gave you a command to go do something, and you went juggling to the other kingdom. You went to the other kingdom. I have a message from you from Lord Drake. And here you go. Here's some information to use, and he runs back as the court jester.
Right.
I did it, Drake. I did it. You're a fucking clown, bro. That's why he used you to do that. You're expendable.
It's interesting that he took that angle, but you know, it's like, who is this person that's being used and talked about like this? You know what I mean?
We're taking everything at face value, right?
Everybody else's name in his circle that he.
We're taking everything at face value.
That's so. Right.
And again, it could be wrong. Shit.
So I mean, how y'all feel about the response? Tone, you ain't finished.
Sounds like Drake is quitting, or it seems like Drake is not going to entertain us anymore. I don't know if it's one of those, I'm bored, I don't want to play anymore, or like, you doing too much, I quit, you done blow minds. Because of all this false information or whatever. That's his angle. I don't know. Like, imagine if you are actually a pedophile. I'm just trying to get y'all in a different scenario here. I know you're like, hell no. Imagine, okay,
I will try.
I got it. Imagine you're doing some fuck shit, regardless of what it is. You're doing some fuck shit, and then the projection of you doing that fuck shit is out of there. I mean, now, if you know that shit is 100% not true, you're 100% winning. Because now you can kind of clown it because you know within that all this shit is bullshit. But if you're on some, you're saying I'm doing all this fuck shit, I'm tired. You're blowing this. This is the last thing you'll hear from me. If anything, you're going to see me or whatever the case may be. So it's kind of like a way of covering up a way that you're saying you're giving up.
There's something very dangerous.
War is war.
There's something very dangerous about responding in a way that is dismissive. you using dismissive language with allegations almost lends itself to hoping that it goes away, as opposed to defending yourself. You know what I mean?
You defend yourself, and then it sticks. You're defending yourself.
But again,
when you defend yourself,
it's all perspective. So it's like, who's to say like
he doesn't defend himself.
Yeah,
he defended himself by saying all this shit is fake.
So again, how
the song, it was him defending himself.
Yeah. So again, how much longer? Because it's not going to get to real war. Ain't nobody ain't not doing that shit. So there is limitations in this. So within these limitations of us fighting lyrically, how much more do I have to give if you gonna keep saying the same shit, doing the same thing? You're not knocking me out. You're not knocking me out. So it's like how much do I the same shit?
And that's why I respect him. That's why I do respect him backing out. That's why I do, because I think we've reached the end of all that could be said. So I do. That's why I respect the way that he finished it. Like, you know, if I could jump in and say, yeah, I do like what he did, because it's best to end it. We can't take any more records saying the same things, because everything is an allegation right now. Everything is an allegation. There is no proof on either side of any of it. The only thing that there is the grooming shit that we see online. And I'm not saying that
that work to me.
I'm not, listen what I'm telling you. I'm not saying that someone's parents is pressing charges on you.
That shit at all.
I can't, because I saw where it came from. I saw where it came from. And these allegations, they wouldn't be out there if Joe Budden didn't use his fucking crazy ass brain. Nobody would be looking at that shit. Nobody. Not like that.
Well, listen. But when you say Joe Budden's brought it up, where do you think Joe Budden's got it from?
Nobody else will be looking at the situations. This shit happened, and it happened long ago, right? It didn't just happen today.
Regardless of when it happened, regardless of Joe Budden talking about it.
But that's my point. That's my point, is because it happened already in the past, and nobody else took their mind and looked at it this way. It didn't come off wrong to nobody else or weird to anybody else. But once Joe Budden says it, and then Kendrick hears it on this shit, and you know, and runs with it, and now it's the leading thing. You get what I'm saying?
We live in a society.
We all saw it, is what I'm saying. We all saw these things.
We live in a society where at one point in time, we didn't have social media. When we didn't have social media, we had television and we had radio and we had albums. We had Access Hollywood. We had MTV Cribs. We had limited peaks and views on celebrity life. We've always seen sketchy shit, bro. Let us not forget, we've always seen sketchy shit. We are now at a point in time where we're able to speak and our voices are heard due to social media. Joe Budden saw everything that we saw, but our voices our voice. We don't have a voice as loud in comparison to Joe's. So Joe says
fact is true.
So Joe says something. So Joe says
something,
and people which amplified the message, but that don't mean that everybody ain't felt the same way.
Could be true. That could be true. But my point is, the world was not looking at this person, and if they were, and then it would have been everywhere already. You get what I'm saying?
Not true. The world's voice has only been amplified because of social media. Period. Whether
social media has been out for a while. These things have happened a while ago. They happened while we had social media. What I'm saying is, Joe Budden took his brain and looked at these things differently than the rest of the world did, and these things already happened. These things are in the media for us to see. Joe Budden took his brain and looked at these things differently than everybody else and put those allegations on this person. And because he did that, everybody started opening their eyes to, hey, this could possibly be true. This does look a little weird.
I think that everyone has already felt how they felt, and now they have the tool to say it.
Nobody will be looking at it.
Harvey Weinstein has been raping bitches since the 90s. These women were scared to say something because when they said something, no one believed them.
That's a different situation.
Listen to the parallel that I'm drawing. Yes, it's different, but listen to
the parallel. It's completely different. But go ahead.
The parallel to draw them together is the amplifying of voices due to new technology. New technology is allowing the average person's voice to be heard. So let's correlate. Joe Budden having a big voice, the person who's been watching Drake and his sketchy shit and who no one is paying attention to, now they can tweet Joe. Now they can repost Joe. Now they can do a video on TikTok and it gets 1 million views. You understand the point that I'm making? It's the amplification.
What I'm saying is these things happen while social media was already out. You get what I'm saying? So because social media was out, there are really no new tools. These things happen while TikTok was out. These things happen while Instagram was out. These things happen while YouTube was out. There are really no new tools that happen, in between that time frame of when these things happen and when these allegations started coming across. And
TikTok was around in 2017 when the or 2015 when the allegations came out.
But you still got YouTube, Instagram, and
these things weren't. But these algorithms weren't. These you got to remember what 2015 was. The algorithm wasn't. The algorithm wasn't the algorithm, bro. 2017.
Right. Y'all were. You got it. You got it.
I get what you're trying to say, but I feel like if we can't really like victim blame and say, oh, they should have came out or spoke about it if it's true. No. What I'm saying is
never victim blaming.
No, I know, but I'm saying we can't say that no one's thinking about it. Of course there's people that's gonna be thinking about it, but my whole thing is like, don't lean too much on this shit. This shit is entertainment.
Well, yeah, it's entertainment. Yeah,
that's right. Well, we could say it's entertainment in our
lives, right?
There are people.
I mean, if of course, there's masses of people that follow anything because that's what this shit is all for them people to follow. Yeah. But in all actuality, their voices, those people's voices, to me, it won't mean shit. To Drake, I know it don't mean shit. It's all entertainment. So when we have these opinions, we can't have, especially on something like this, like pedophilia. Like if it's true, you feel me? Then it's true. But if it's not, I mean, I would not lean on that at all.
It's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game to be alleging things for sure. But I think the idea of and going back to the confines of a rap battle, we in Black culture and hip hop culture exist in a different world. Now I understand, Tony, my man Tony, you're not necessarily engulfed in the hip hop world, so your perspective is a little outside of it because you're not because you're immediately offended by the allegations.
Yes, I feel like those are very strong allegations, but you can't say I'm outside of the hip hop world. I grew up in this shit.
Well, listen to what point I'm making, because I'm only saying what you said to me. You don't listen to hip hop.
I don't listen to it no more, right?
Right. So essentially your feelings are going to be different than the person who's in it. This is what they believe in. This is what they live by. Your perspective is not the same as that person.
I'm in a different point of life where those things.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
but
that's
the point. That is the point that I'm making. You in your place in life is not going to be in the same place as the person who's living, breathing, eating hip hop and understand.
No, that's a fact.
Understand that there are no rules in this shit. I'm going to call you whatever the fuck I want to call you. And if niggas want to search some shit up and find some shit and it's true, then guess what, nigga? You shouldn't have did it. You understand what I'm saying? So that
I still feel like that's wrong for pedophiles.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, because who's to say that there shouldn't be rules to this. Just because it's chaos doesn't mean it has to be chaos. You know what I mean?
Listen, real
all that to say, hold on, we
way past there.
One thing real quick. My fault, homie. One thing real quick.
No,
and to that point, I do believe that there should be regulation. And I've always said hip hop needs a committee. When Joe Buttons was saying that, he stopped talking about that. I think that's for a reason. But I always felt like hip hop needs to have a union. You're working.
Yeah, but he stole that from Nori though.
I think it's a conversation within the industry. Though.
Yeah.
It's not about ownership of it because it's meant to be something for all people who profess to be a rapper in hip hop culture.
Indeed.
And so I think that that's something that needs to be expounded upon and created because to help protect people in these situations. But
just our art and our culture.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all.
I want to let y'all know J. Cole is dropping soon, y'all.
Oh, yeah? J. Cole is the real all of this shit.
He stayed the fuck out of it.
Nice.
I think he got a new record with Central C. He got a new record with Central C and Boss. It's a bop too.
I don't know them, but I might not say
Central C and Boss is on his label, and it's a bop. It's a smooth. It's a bop. It's called bring your bitch or something like that.
Okay.
It's a bop. It's a nice smooth joint. Trust me, I like it. You're gonna like it.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, gentlemen, it's that time. It's time to go and get out of here, pay some bills, and hit them pillows. Go ahead, end it off, Tony.
Hey, it was good having you on here, Bobbie, man. You definitely are Kendrick. Kendrick's there. You were in Tone. Hey, yeah, man. Go ahead.
Jumped for 2-3 weeks by y'all motherfuckers.
I told you brought help.
He said it too. He said it too.
All right, but it was more than a fucking pleasure.
Talk that much today. I'm like,
more
I
than
got
a pleasure.
Backup.
Yeah.
No, thank you, man.
It was his voice, but it was
he tried to hide today. Nigga went hiding today. He went J. Cole mode.
It was very great to share all the aspects, especially for listeners who will be watching this, and people are looking at things from one side or the other side. Like what we were able to collaboratively do was literally dissect that shit down to its teeth. Give these old heads an understanding and these young boys. And that's why I appreciate this whole episode right here. Good shit,
yes, sir. Guys in conversation, y'all.
Guys in conversation, y'all. Yes, sir. Episode 7, like, subscribe, share. We everywhere.